CJ back with part 2 of getting your dog comfortable with those vet visits. In this series, we are working on preparing CJ and getting him ready for his surgery to repair his torn ACL. In the last one, we went over getting your dog used to getting up on different surfaces that your dog might encounter at the vet. We made use of a pig board, but you could also use a tarp, or you could put that tarp over an ottoman, anything to get your dog used to a different surface that might be a little slippery or noisy under their nails. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to teach our dogs to lay on their side on cue. So most of the time when we teach our dogs down, we want them to just lay down, right? And they lay straight down. But what we want now is our dogs to lay, kind of flop all the way over onto their side with their head down. The cue we use with CJ is do less, but you can teach them any cue. You can call it side, you could call it banana. It doesn't really matter. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start with some yummy treats. And you're gonna put those yummy treats right at your nose. But seeing as how CJ is already laying down, I'm gonna toss one away so you can see this from the beginning. This is very similar to how you teach your dog to roll over, but we're not gonna take it all the way around. So you're gonna ask your dog to lay down. Oops, I dropped one. Down. And then you're gonna pay attention to their back end. Whichever way they flop over is the direction you're gonna take the treats. So he is flopped over towards me. So I'm gonna take those treats right at his nose and I'm going to bring them around. Yes, good job, good boy. So I bring the treats towards the side that he is not flopping towards and roll him towards the side he flopped to. Does that make sense? Let me show you guys again. Tossing one away so he'll get up. Down. So he's flopped that way. Oh, yes, you cheated. You're too good at this. Let me toss that treat away again. So if CJ flops to the right, I'm going to take the treats in my hand to the left and bring them to the right to encourage him to flop onto his right. And the same thing in reverse. If he'd flopped onto his left, I'm going to bring them to the right and encourage him to flop onto his left. It's kind of hard to explain in words, but I hope you're picking up what he's doing. Down. Do less. Yes, good boy. So you kind of do a half circle around your dog, getting him to flop onto his side. Let's do that one more time. Down. Do less. Yes, good boy. And once your dog is laying on their side, you can continue to pay them to keep them in that position. Because again, when they're at the vet and this is going to be happening, they're going to have to be there for a little bit. They may want to poke their belly or move their legs. So that brings us to the next point. Once your dog is reliably going into this position, then you want to start to touch them just a little bit and then pay them. Yes, for not getting up. Oops, there you go. Touch the belly. Yes. 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 And this is how we work them up to getting comfortable with people touching them all over as they're laying on their side. Because this is a very vulnerable position for our dogs. Once your dog is comfortable doing this and reliably going into that position when you give the cue, then you can introduce it on the tarp or the hassock or whatever it is you're using from the last video to start to incorporate the two. So let me show you how to do that. Right, so we have our pegboard back down again. And for this step, your dog needs to be comfortable getting onto the tarp or pegboard or whatever it is you are using from that last video. Then you kind of go through the same steps. You ask for a down. Look for which way they shift and say, do this. Yes, good boy. And then continue to drop those treats. Again, once they're reliably going into this position on cue, then you start to touch them all over, pairing it with some yummy treats. Yes. So I hope this video has helped teach you and your dog to lie comfortably on their side on cue. Your dog doesn't have to be undergoing surgery for their ACL to learn this skill. CJ actually learned this skill before he tore his ACL. It was a great skill to learn for grooming, or like I said, even just being able to check out their bellies. It just is a great skill to teach your dog. But if your dog is going to be undergoing surgery, it's very helpful to have them comfortable laying on their side on different, sometimes noisy surfaces. I hope this video has once again helped to set you and your dog up for success. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to answer. As always, don't forget to tell your dog we said hi.